Okay, everybody, Dr. Mark Merlin talking about COVID-19 again. So we're going to talk about some positive advances for COVID-19, things that I see that are happening where the numbers are improving dramatically. So today is 4/23, so April 23rd. Let's talk about some data. And I want to spend a minute talking about New York City because we have to compare other states to New York City, which had tremendous outbreaks of COVID-19, to look to see when their peak was and when some of their numbers started to go down. So let's look at New York City and let's look at their peak from the overall number of cases. New York City peaked April 6th, and it peaked by the number of cases being 6,198. After that peak, since April 6th, the numbers have been going down dramatically. Today, April 23rd, the number of cases of COVID, new cases, are 72. Dramatic decrease, and it's been decreasing most every day. Let's talk about the very unfortunate deaths from COVID-19 in New York City. New York City peaked the same exact time, pretty similar to where it had the greatest number of cases, and they had on April 7th, 550 cases. Today, although the data definitely can run some behind, the number of deaths in New York City is 12. A dramatic decrease almost every single day from COVID-19 in New York City. This is not just what we're seeing in New York City, it's starting to be what we're seeing all throughout the country. Some more positive information about COVID-19. Recent study that was talked about all over the media was that when 3,000 people were tested, all in New York area, they had 13% of patients had a positive COVID-19 test. Now, some of these people had were just tested and they were tested randomly. So if that's the case, that if you go into the general population and 13% are positive, but which by the way is consistent, a very similar number to two other studies that were done outside the United States, that means the mortality from COVID-19 is going to be well below that 1% that many people predicted. This is what we have been saying at MD1 for a long time, but we believe the mortality will be below 1%. Because now we are testing routine people in the community. This is the number we didn't know. How many people out there with minimal to no symptoms or people recovered are just out there in general? Now that we know it's somewhere about 13%, we can put in some better numbers into our formula to figure out true mortality. Again, I'm very hopeful the mortality for COVID-19 will wind up being well below 19%. Anecdotally, most of my friends and colleagues who are working in New York City and New Jersey hospitals are starting to see this week much better scenarios. They have a lot fewer patients in the emergency department on a daily basis. All the routine stuff that we see every day has gone down dramatically. So many volumes in emergency departments are down for things that we've seen like lacerations, sports injuries, etc. But the number of sick COVID patients coming into the emergency department are going down dramatically. Now, the emergency departments still need our help because they're still holding patients. In other words, patients are waiting in the emergency department to go and get a bed in the hospital because the hospitals, while they have been full, we're starting to have more discharges. Additionally, when we first started treating COVID patients on ventilators, we didn't know quite how to do it because this was a new virus that seemed to really affect the lungs and give really low oxygen levels. Now we are getting more people off the ventilators quicker than ever before because we're gaining experience how to treat the COVID-19. We are learning how to set the ventilators. We didn't know how to do that initially. So I am seeing by my colleagues numbers well below 50%. Less than 50% of people who are being put on ventilators today are getting or dying on that ventilator. That's much different from the numbers we initially reported.